What a time to be alive. The blue haired boy is back, so good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Freaking crazy weekend, and I return for an epic video because a huge bunch of stuff just happened for Metroid Prime 4, and this game is coming up quick. We got confirmed new leaks, and it's pretty dang awesome. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Quick little recap. I went to Detroit for the Lions' first home playoff game in 32 years, the first home playoff game at Ford Field, the first home playoff game I've ever been to, the first playoff game I've ever been to. They won 24-23. It was crazy. I stood the entire game screaming, yelling, lost my voice. It's mostly coming back. Blue hair, black face paint. It was crazy. It was amazing. I posted some photos and a video on Instagram if you want to check it out, but it was a moment that's been building for me an entire lifetime. I've been loyal and overly passionate and sometimes stupidly optimistic, blindly faithful about the Lions, and it's paying off. It's paying off finally 3 decades later, so it's been a beautiful moment. It's also a beautiful moment for Metroid Prime 4 because this is a game that we've been waiting for, maybe not as long as the Lions to host a playoff game, but quite some time. Nearly a decade, if you can believe that. And we finally got some more concrete stuff. Now, I got to give a shout out to Super Metal Dave 64, who is responsible for all of the research that I'm going to be presenting to you. I don't want to take any credit for it. I'm just reporting on this. He's the one that found this, but it's totally legit. Like, this is not rumor, hearsay, a random source. This is just good old-fashioned facts. So, Metroid Prime 4 was revealed way back yonder. We know that they restarted development after an ironically interesting apology video from Nintendo. We've heard nothing since. This game should be out soon based on all approximations and based on Nintendo still keeping it on their calendar as a future title to come out. We know that they're loading up the first half of the year with remakes, remasters, and Princess Peach Showtime, and so it seems like Metroid Prime 4 could be one of the biggest games to release this year for Nintendo and help propel the lineup and lift it up beyond just retread status. Now, what we've got here is a video game developer, someone who helps playtest and take games from production to their final release, and they are posting directly that they work for Retro Studios playtesting and demoing Metroid Prime 4. Now, that's very interesting because it shows, hey, people are playtesting Metroid Prime 4, but it gets way more interesting than that. It's not just like, oh, this person's playtesting, because obviously people playtest games for many years at times, right? You could be a playtester right at the beginning, but Sir Edwin, he takes games to the finish line, and it's evidenced by his 2 Call of Duty projects where he worked for 9 to 10 months on Call of Duty Vanguard and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, taking them right up to their launch in November. Now, Edwin would be like a closer, right? A playtester that works this game right to the last finish line and then closes the books on the project. So it's very interesting to note that Edwin has been working on Metroid Prime 4 since March of last year. Now, that is a very long time, longer than his Call of Duty projects, and begs the question, what's going on with the game? So this game may have initially been intended to release in 2023. We know that Nintendo delayed Zelda, and they could also have delayed and shifted Metroid Prime 4 as well. There's rumors that Nintendo even planned initially to release the Switch 2 last fall, and that got pushed. It seems like due to the parts shortage of yesteryear and all of the issues we had surrounding the pandemic that the schedules just got really messed up. We know Zelda was targeting a 2022 launch, Tears of the Kingdom eventually dropped in May of 2023, and if we look at Edwin's past, the 9 to 10 months, that March start date for playtesting leads perfectly up to holiday 2023 when maybe the game was initially intended to release. Now, what would that mean for Metroid Prime 4's status right now? It could mean that the game is done. And in fact, I think that's likely. We know Nintendo has a history during the Switch generation of just sitting on games. In fact, Metroid Prime Remastered was rumored to be sat on for years and years, just waiting for it to go. And we thought that the reason that they were waiting for it to go was to get closer to Metroid Prime 4. It would be silly to build the hype wagon for Metroid Prime Remastered and then let it simmer for years. Now, we're coming up on a year since Metroid Prime Remastered, and I think you're going to get rewarded with a Metroid Prime 4 reveal. Not only has Edwin been playtesting the game, not only do the timelines line up in very interesting ways and highlight that the project itself might be complete, but we have even more leakage from Next Gen Dreams. Now you might be asking, what the heck is a Next Gen Dream? Is it a 4K 60 ray traced DLSS dream? Could be, but in this case, it is a company from Melbourne, Australia that works on Sizzle. They are a trailer house, and they've worked with many major publishers in the video game industry to bring delicious trailers to our eyes. One of their recent ones that I really love is their trailer for Judas, what looks to be the spiritual successor to BioShock. Ken Levine is in on it, and the game looks downright delicious. That was shown off back at the Game Awards 2022. So Next Gen Dreams, hey, they wanted to take on a new client, and bam! Look who is on their client list. Retro Studios. What perfect place to make a beautiful reveal trailer to actually uncover and showcase Metroid Prime 4 in its final form. And if you don't believe this, what makes it even more interesting is in between Super Metal Dave 64 covering this and myself covering this, Next Gen Dreams has removed the Retro Studios logo from their website, indicating to me that after that video came out, Nintendo said, "You did a bad thing. You should not have posted that. Retro Studios, take it down, because we don't want people to know that you worked on a trailer that might be revealing as soon as next month's Nintendo Direct." And yes, I think February is where we may see Metroid Prime 4, because this is, by all accounts, going to be the last solely Nintendo Switch 1 focused Direct. And Metroid Prime 4 has been promised for Switch 1 from the beginning. I think Nintendo 100% honors that promise. They might make it a cross-gen game that releases for both systems, but it will be on Switch 1. You will be rewarded for your Switch 1 purchase and your 7 years of waiting. The February Direct may not have a huge headliner, given that they're saving plenty of games for Switch 2, and they're not going to reveal a Switch 2 game before they reveal the system. That would blow all sorts of hype and beautiful marketing material. But what they could do is finally show off the game that has been in development for ages, that was restarted eons ago, and that should be finally ready based on things like Next Gen Dreams listing on their client list, Edwin Atwell's playtesting history, and of course just the fact that, hey, we know this one is coming soon. I think February is going to be it. I thought maybe we would see it back at the September Direct, and then I kind of got cold feet on that. We ended up not seeing it. I think now is the time. If Metroid Prime 4 is in fact releasing in 2024, which I think there is a 95% chance of that happening, then we see it in February, and it's going to be a Next Gen Dreams amazing intro trailer that could be highlighting gameplay, graphics, and multiplayer. One other thing that Super Metal Dave 64 was very astute to point out is that Edwin Atwell's history of playtesting 2 Call of Duty FPSs indicates that Metroid Prime 4 may have a multiplayer component. It's something that's been tossed around, rumored, and discussed for years now, and given that they are targeting an FPS playtester to work at Retro Studios on their FPS game, and someone from franchises that had heavy multiplayer components, perhaps part of Edwin's job is playtesting the multiplayer mode. We know Nintendo has found a ton of success with Animal Crossing multiplayer, Mario Kart multiplayer, and of course Splatoon 2 and 3 multiplayer. It's high time for a new multiplayer game that goes off for Nintendo. Plenty of their recent releases have all been single-player focused or have moderate to minimal multiplayer components. A new, huge, big multiplayer game for Nintendo Switch would be a great way to close out its final year, and that audience could even carry over to play on Switch 2 and possibly, potentially, probably merge the player bases. I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to have multiplayer. I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be shown at the February Direct, and I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to release before the holiday season in 2024. What do you think? I think this is our best evidence, our best positive, factual proof yet, and it lines up with everything we've heard rumored, so it's all kosher, it all feels good, it's all very much in line and on track, and I think we are ready to hop back in the beautiful suit of Samus Aran. Let me know your take in the comments down below, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're all doing fantastic out there. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.